Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RUNCAM action cam with the 2.8 aperture lens, which is a little bit larger lens, and it also will give you a little bit more crisp images than the last version of the RUNCAM. So the friendly folks at RUNCAM went ahead and sent me this review model, and I've been taking a look at it for a few weeks. Had some time to put it on several aircraft and also just use it as a standard held in hand camera in general. So I'm going to go through features of the camera and also what you get in the box, and we'll kind of come back, give you some video of everything and how it performs and everything in all different kinds of environments, and then we'll come back and do a kind of an afterthoughts review, pros and cons, and some final thoughts. So in the box, obviously you get the RUNCAM action cam. You've got your, it comes with a USB cord as well for charging. It comes with a micro SD card slot. It does not come, the version I have here does not come with the micro SD card, so you'll have to get your own card there. You've got your power, you've got your mode change, and then you've got your record start and stop here. They have a kind of a neat feature. They have internally RF shielded paint, copper paint. So I know on the Mobius cam, I don't have a Mobius cam to review, but I know some of the problems with the Mobius cam was that people were getting a lot of RF interference, and that was due to the lack of shielding and the noisy electronics. So when they did mount it on their FPV remote control vehicle, radio control vehicle, they would get a lot of interference, whether it be their control or their FPV video out. Oh yeah, that as well. This is also for the FPV video out. So you would charge and you would have your video out on this jack as well. So everything else we get in the box, I've already opened this, so I'm reopening this box. Just wanted to make a note of the box, the packaging quality. These guys have kind of impressed me on their packaging. For such a cheap camera, this packaging is up to par with some of the higher quality smartphones that I've seen around. So it kind of tells you the attention to detail that this company is paying even to their packaging. So it's good to know that they spent some time in designing the quality of the packaging. I mean, in general, it won't, determine the greatness of the product, but it does give you an idea of the attention to detail they're spending on every aspect of the device. So in the box you get this lens cleaning cloth, which is nice, got the RUNCAM logo on it. You get the USB charger cable to charge the camera. You get this FPV out cable here. Actually you get two cables. So let me just open this up real quick. This would be the cable that you actually plug into the camera itself. And then of course you've got your power and your video. So you can actually power the video camera as well if you wanted to. You don't have to necessarily power it, but it's a good option to be if you are doing longer video in, even if you're not doing RC, if you're using it as a dash cam or something and you needed that long record time. You can go ahead and plug it into some kind of external power source, and it'll continuously power it while it's recording. And then you've got your video out and ground if you wanted to output to a video transmitter on your craft or whatever it may be. So you get that cable, and then you also get this cable here. And this one would be just a different way of adapting if you're set up, say you're using it as a dash cam, or you usually wouldn't use something like this on an RC craft because these RCA connectors are kind of heavy. But I would say anywhere else you're using RCA connectors in a dash cam or home media or something, you would want to use this kind of connector. And you've got the video out plus ground here. Okay, lastly in the box, you get your instruction manual. You also get this this little mount here. So I would assume you probably You probably won't use this on an RC vehicle. It would just be a little bit extra weight, but if you wanted some kind of a release mount for maybe a dash cam or say an action cam type of setting where you had it on your hat or helmet or something. Okay, so that's everything in the box. Now we're going to get to the actual good part. Put it on a few crafts, a few RC vehicles, use it as like maybe a hat cam, and come back and kind of give the final thoughts and really what I thought about every aspect of this camera. So let's get out there and take some footage. Okay, a couple of hits on the bottom. No problem. And this is all brushless electronics, so I don't think it will really affect it or damage it much at all. Cool, I'm pretty impressed with that run. Let's take out this battery and try another one. Hey guys, welcome back. So we've had some time with the RunCam to kind of put it through its paces, and we took it up on some RC vehicles, did a little demo of the FPV capabilities with OSD on screen via the provided cables they gave, and this thing works pretty good. I'll go through some pros and cons on what I thought of it, and that'll kind of give you an idea of the functionality of it, and if you'd like to pick it up or not. I will have the links in the description of where to get this from RunCam themselves, straight from the company. So if you do like what you hear and you want to pick one up, the links will be in the description. So getting into the pros and cons, the pros would be it's light, small, it's low profile, of course, so it's a different shape than those GoPro or Sony style cameras, which gives it a nice low pro kind of mounting position, which will kind of keep your center of gravity a little lower. And it is lighter than all those other GoPro sized cameras as well. Another pro is it does have the FPV out, so it will take that USB that the GoPro cameras use, and which they do provide the cables for, and you can output directly to your video transmit system or some kind of car DVR recorder if you wanted to, or however you wanted to do it. While you're doing the FPV for RC use, I noticed maybe about a 200 millisecond lag, so it's not the best, but it's not going to really affect you unless you're doing a lot of high-speed quad racing. Even the high-speed quad racing or aerial racing, you probably won't have any issues unless you're in a really close proximity stuff, and that you just need the most ultimate millisecond response time, but then you'll probably be paying more money than what this is. I think this is around 50 bucks. This has the 2.8 aperture lens on it, so it's about 50 bucks from RunCam. The 2.8 aperture lens gives you a little clearer picture, and it also negates that solar flare as well, that sun flare that you get in the lens. Alright, let's see. The image was very clear. I was really impressed with how clear the image is for one of these small cameras. I guess these are in direct competition with the Mobius Action Cam, and it does a good job at competing directly with it. One of the cons would be it's a little bit lacking in low light. I did take some low light video, as you saw, and the low light gets a little grainy. A lot of cameras have trouble in low light, and also the dynamic range on this wasn't the best as far as when it's transitioning from panning up towards the sky, it would get really dark, and then down towards the ground it would lighten up. And when it really was down towards the ground, that's actually how light it was outside, but once you get up a little higher, it has trouble dealing with, I guess, the sun and the brighter sky, so it gets really dark. So that's one of the cons I think they can work on. I did try adjusting some of the white levels and the lighting frequency, but it just made the picture really crappy, so I just left it stock. Another con would be it doesn't have any kind of LCD screen like other cameras, other action cams. There's no kind of wireless control linking that some other action cams like a lot of the GoPro copies, clones have. They now have LCD screens or just a simple, black and white screen even for adjustments, but this one doesn't have that. It just has a few buttons on here. A pro though is it is RF copper shielded stock, so it does come with that internal copper paint to shield it from RF or from emitting RF into your electronics, which is pretty important for RC vehicles, not to get any interference from, say, your transmitter or video system. So that's a definite bonus. It's also cool that they give you a lens cover. I know these things will be thrown around a lot, so it's nice to have that little lens cover to pop on. And it's cool that they give you the lens cloth and all the cables that you need to get it going for FPV and all that stuff. It does seem very durable. I crashed a few times with it, got a couple nicks, but the camera still works fine, so you're going to be able to crash with it as long as it's not a really hard crash directly on it, and it will keep on going. And of course the con was it is kind of hard and tedious to change the settings. If you want to get into that white balancing and advanced settings, even to just change the resolution or anything like that, you've got to actually download an app from RUNCAM themselves onto your computer and link it up and change all that stuff. Another con was the 64 gigabyte Samsung micro SD card I was using. It was able to record on it, but there's a couple things you have to do to upgrade or downgrade the firmware or the settings, and it wasn't reading that card correctly, so I had to go and run in a really cheap 4 gigabyte micro SD card just to be able to configure some of the settings. But besides that, I'd say it's a fairly decent action cam for the price. If you're looking for kind of a Mobius competitor, this has got the RF shield painting for stock at a price that's probably, I think it's cheaper than the Mobius. One more con was putting in the micro SD card in and out. So when I was at the field a few times, I wanted to, or even not at the field, even at home, I wanted to take it out. And usually, I mean, I don't have long fingernails, but usually on other cameras I can at least, you know, push it in and it pops out. That time it did it, but it just seems like it goes in a little too far to be able to really set in with your fingernail. So you've got to have some fingernail to push it in and out, or have some kind of like pen or sharp objects available if you barely have any fingernails. So they could have made it a little easier to pop in and out with your bare hands, but that's just a minor quabble there. But overall, for the money, it's a pretty good camera. Again, the dynamic range is the most lacking thing. It does have as I spoke of before, it does have a little bit of a problem with darkening and lighting as it kind of faces the ground and comes up towards the sky. And it doesn't really get back to its dynamic range very fast. It takes a little while for the darkness to go away and get back into light. So I can see for some FPV pilots, they're using this for high-speed racing. That might be an issue, like in the forest and the woods. But anyway, guys, if you did like what you saw here and you'd like to purchase one, I'll have a link in the description for RUNCAM. This was a review model from them, and I hope it helped you make a decision. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me what you thought, and stay tuned for more RC and tech videos. Thanks for watching.